want to talk a little bit about occupational work, your job, your career, your profession, if you have one. What is it that you do to make ends meet, to have enough money to provide housing and food and other basic necessities for yourself and those that you care for? If you're married, your wife or husband, and whoever children that you have, or others in your family that you may be responsible for. Uh, do you have enough money to do that? I know that some of you living outside of the United States struggle especially with that very basic criteria for successful employment. And I know also that in many situations, you can't help it. It's really not your fault because of political circumstances, um, bad economies, and other elements that are beyond your control. It can be very hard to get a good job. I wish for you continued success in striving to make those improvements. And it takes a lot of novel thinking to get there. I would only encourage you, if you're ever tempted to do anything illegal or something overtly dangerous to yourself or demeaning to yourself or to anyone under your charge, anyone you're responsible for, a spouse or children, that you reject it out of hand. As important as money is, it is vitally important that you obtain it honestly for your own safety and for your own dignity. That's important. Now, if you do have a job that you're making some money at, but it really isn't enough, or you just don't like the work at all, you hate it, it's important also for you to think of ways of getting out of that situation. Not necessarily, in fact, usually not instantly. But when all these thoughts begin to churn in your head over time, you'll know this is not something you want to spend the rest of your life doing. And since you spend so much time of your life on the job, it really is important to try to be happy with the work that you do. I was, in my life, fortunate to have careers that I truly enjoyed. One of them was in media with local television in the state of Wisconsin, which is in the north central part of the country. And another was in national media with CNN, which many of you see throughout the world. I was the medical correspondent for CNN for 18 years and really enjoyed that work for most of that time. I got a little bit bored near the end of those 18 years, not just bored, but dissatisfied with the direction that the company was going. And as a matter of fact, they were dissatisfied with me too, so it became pretty easy to end that relationship when the time came. Now, I had time to plan for that, and I did. Went back to school, in fact, and got a second degree after 50 years. I was 50 years old. It wasn't after 50 years being out of school. But at the age of 50, I went back and got a graduate degree in public health, which allowed me not only a second career with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, but also a teaching opportunity at Emory University in Atlanta, where I taught graduate students and would be teaching them right now this year again, what for the health situation that I'm dealing with, which made it iffy whether I should try teaching or not. So we decided that I should not teach this year, so I'm not. I enjoy teaching graduate students, though. And, when you do retire, as I have, I find it useful to be able to stay involved in some kind of an occupational pursuit, even if I don't get any money for it. And at this point in my life, because I worked all my life, I don't have to have an income in order to keep food on the table and a roof over my head. Hopefully, that will be your good luck as well, or your good fortune, and you do that by planning for it and saving some money when you're in the prime years of your working. In the U.S., most employers provided a way for us to do that and make it easier for us to save. I realize that varies country by country. Again, if you're in a position, though, that you do not like, you just can't stand it, don't quit unless your safety is uh, in question or you're so miserable you can't go another day. But definitely do plan a way out so that you can hopefully make a seamless transition from one occupation, one job to another, and have that income coming in the whole time. Again, most of you who see this are going to be a lot younger than me, and you're going to have a need to make money for a good many years. Uh, if you're miserable, find a way out. If you like what you're doing, strive to get better at it. Don't feel that just because you've achieved success that you can just sit back and do the same pursuits for the rest of that career. Always look for ways to advance, if not, in a formal sense, at least in your own appreciation for how you go about your work, how successful you are in doing so, and how you measure that success. And that's not just in dollars and cents or whatever currency you deal with, but in your job satisfaction, how others feel about the work that you do. All of this is important for your self esteem, for your sense of worth. Please, a job does not define you as a man or as a woman, but it's a part of you. And it's a part of you that you should be able to be proud of and be glad that you were able to contribute to society in the way that you chose to do so. If it's an honest job, if it reflects, integrity, if it is never demeaning to you in any way, uh, and obviously if it's legal, chances are you can be very proud of what you're doing because it is essential. It is a service or a product, whatever it is, a skill, a talent that society needs. And you're doing your part then in advancing the society in which you live. Good luck and thanks.